Ladies and gentlemen, you see Neil Paulson just pulling up off there to the right top part of the screen on my security cameras. And I have to tell you, I have worked so hard in my life to be able to help people that I have had to record my experiences based on the fact that I have been hurt from helping people. It's not right that we cause this kind of hell for each other, especially when we have people in this world like your happy healer who is so intent on just being somebody that gives back to humanity, gives back to humankind, even though he himself is not doing the greatest and is always under attack by greed, it feels like, and seems, and the facts seem to show. And so I just say, if you want to be a lover in a hater's world, which is what I've discovered, this is a greedy, hateful world. But can you really just give up? Not if you're the happy healer. My goal is to try and make it better, because I see what's happening. And it's so clear to see that people are destroying our lives through greed. And that love, it never has a chance to flourish. That the greed comes in and destroys it before it ever had a true chance. And in this situation, I am doing right. I have my home for sale. They gave me a payoff. No, I did not make any payments after receiving the payoff, because that payoff is a good payoff, because I am paying that home off, because I am serving the American people, and I have a buyer who is eager to buy, for there is only really one problem, okay? It is Yellow Book, and Yellow Book is so greedy. You're going to learn that because I have this media coming out on this. But here you have Neil, you have Yellow Book on the other end. They're both so greedy, trying to take claim in areas and in ways that they don't have claim. Neil told the judge he doesn't want his money in this situation because he much prefers to have the house. And then if you notice in this conversation where he shouldn't even be here, he then tells me that, oh, don't worry, we're never going to give Yellow Book that because he intends on taking it. This man is a bottom feeder. And quite frankly, folks, so many things are going to be coming out about Neil Paulson on this show with me running for president of the United States. It's with Neil in the last 10 years. If I'm taking my eye off the ball for one moment, in 2014, I'm in Germany dealing with my drug addiction, being sober for the first time in my life for a 6-month straight span. Neil uses then to get the foreclosure on the home, doesn't he? So if I just take one eyeball off of this guy, I got to have both eyeballs on him for 10 years. I'll be so happy to have him out of my life. And all he wants is to take. The guy's the greediest guy I've ever met. Namely for the fact that he is making himself a thorn even beyond having already made himself a thorn to our veterans, to other people in our city, and here he is walking up to my house to cause me hell, as if he already didn't do enough hell to the American people, that he is still delivering on that hell. His greed is never giving up, and that's just the nature of greed, my friends. All we can do is thank God above that this man is not in a position of power because he fails to love. And you'll see when I share with you everything there is to know about Neil Paulson. This week, we are on it because this is the truth in my life. I share what's happening. You ought to know what's holding us back. Our entire movement is being touched now by this man. Who's that? Oh, look at there's Neil. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, you know, I've got a live show, Neil.
Hey, what's happening with the house?
What are you doing here?
I just came from the courthouse. That's why I was one.
I'm surprised to
Well, I was just knocking on the door to see if it was one. The judge was asking where you were.
I'm a little uncomfortable. I have a live show going.
Oh, okay. What's happening with the house? Do you know, is it going to close or sell?
Yeah, I've got my guy that's on it. He's ready to buy it. I'm just right now still trying to get this situation resolved.
What's going on with the liens? Are they
That's
more
what
than your equity, or what's the problem? They're going to reduce them?
Yeah, they have to reduce them or eliminate them. So I have that in the courts right now, so I'm waiting to get back from them. So that's where I'm at.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I contacted the title company lady. She said she still might be able to close it.
Oh, wow, really, Neil? Because when we were in court the other day, you could have told that to the judge. But instead of saying anything to nice, beautiful, honest, and caring Judge Jackson, who is actually believing you, you kept your mouth quiet, sir. You didn't help truth get out because your greedy intention is to steal my home. I know what you're up to, but I'm telling them, sir, and I'm telling them everything I know, sir. And you know, the worst part about all of this is I've never asked for any of this. I am living my life. I should have had my home sold, but greed on one end is trapping me in. I'm trying to get this lien lifted, and I really wish that things were different. I do. I just wish that I was free to be able to pursue this dream in a pure way, that I had the ability to just move on with the sale of my home. It's a sad thing to have to do in the first place, and that if I am not doing this dream, then I want my home. I love my home. I've had it since 2006. Why has Neil got to inject himself in there for his lousy $20,000 that he's already gotten back plus some, and now it's not enough? He still wants my home on top of that. He already got that unfair judgment from the circuit court when I was in Germany, and so I say, can't I just please live my happy healer life? I just want to stay busy doing work for the people I love. I want to get on to a life worth living for our country. I know it's the right thing to do to pull back from the insanity, and that this is supposed to be something I should not have to deal with according to the letter of the law, the intention of the law, and ultimately the spirit of the law. Those with homesteaded properties in the state of Florida, they should not have to concern themselves with the greedy ambition of the Yellow Book. And now you just heard Neil say.
Because I contacted the title company lady, she said she still might be able to close it.
Yeah, that's just like Neil said, dishonest. Now this just shows the lie exactly how this man works. In court, he is convincing the judge that I don't have the household and that indeed I'm a bad guy. But Neil knows very well this house is sold. He purposely misled the judge and believed otherwise. Because you see, Neil is a greedy little sucker and he goes out of his way for every little thing in order to create hell for me. I've experienced that, so I know that he does that for everything else. He took $21.4 million from veterans, and I know of other people who have also been hurt by Neil, so this isn't new for him. Yeah.
But I don't know what's going on.
She's working on it now. I mean, I'm doing everything I can, let's put it like that. So you see, Judge Jackson, I know how to treat the guy with respect and love. See, for at that moment, I was under the impression that this guy actually doesn't even have a reason for being at my home, and he is off his rocker for being there, considering I have this stay order in protection in effect, Your Honor. And even that the case was dismissed, I still had that in effect for another 14 days. Quite presumptuous of him to ever even show up at my house. Not to mention, quite illegally. Because I have a visceral reaction in my heart and my body. It's a conditioned response from Neil because he's hurt me so many times, and I've been a victim to folks that almost seemingly take my power away when they lie. That's why I do media, to prove my truth, Your Honor. And look how marvelous it does when it proves people to be who they are. But you see, despite my being so incredibly kind to this guy, he is still trying to hurt me. And think about the facts here. I was so nice to him. He doesn't belong at my house in the first place, and I have such an even keel tone with this guy. And the first thing he's doing is banging on the door and asking me about my home. Now, I told you about my conditioned response from his antics. What would be your conditioned responses, knowing that he's out to take your home from you, despite your making your payments, despite everything that is true about this case? I paid $67,100 for this home in 2006. I put another $45,000 into fixing it up. I lived in it for the last 14 years, just for this man to turn around and come and stake a claim on it. Whereas he does not have a claim. I've made my payments. He needs to just accept my payments and now accept my payoff. This guy's trying to block the payoff. He wants to steal the home in lieu of the payoff. He's not giving me time, and that's why I was asking the judge, please allow me the time to get this lien taken care of. Now Neil is in a race to get this done, which is going to impede my ability to get the lien off, which means I have to run right back to the bankruptcy court. and then hope for the best there, which I have a strong case. Because of all of this is true. Because even Neil, in this conversation, you'll also hear about how I was ready to pay my payments. I never had that option. The necessity wasn't even there. We're selling the home. The judge did not even believe that the home had a buyer. We have to prove all of that. And we can, and we shall. So I don't have a reason to believe that the bankruptcy could not be reinstated, but I would not want that. I am trying to sell this home. Why is Neil allowing greed in order to control the process? How come I can't get my story out to explain to anybody so that it can mitigate the time it takes to get this done? It seems like greed won't even listen, so that I have no ability to explain to anybody with power that can help me get through and beyond this measure in order to make this sacrifice really that I'm making in my home, that I'm actually selling it so that I can help Americans have a life worth living that I know is so possible. It's my dream. I want to try. I feel so compelled to do this, and I feel like I'm being held back by the very nature of greed from the man you see standing before you, and it's so incredibly wrong. Why is he allowed to do that? Why does the system back that? And the lies. That's the thing that gets me. The fact that he knew that I would have made those payments. It was said there. The facts are out on this. And Your Honor, think about the truth in this respect. Here I am talking about making my payments to Neil Paulson that I told him right then and there. Oh, I would have caught that up today. I said there, oh wow, they dismissed the case? I had no idea, because up until that moment, this very next moment, I didn't even know anything prior to this next moment that the case was even dismissed. But then it was, Your Honor. And I know how Neil works. He doesn't see giving me time as being in his benefit, because he wants this home. He's always wanted this home. It's always been his goal to steal this home, Your Honor. That is why when you said, why wouldn't you just want your money? He doesn't want the money. He wants the home, Your Honor. And let's put it like this. By pushing so fast, he knows I'll have to file again in the bankruptcy court, which in its own right is a shocker, because I intended on making my payments and catching up to bankruptcies. After all, I was only on hold given my payoff, and I didn't want to confuse that, considering we're literally to pay this off just as soon as the lien was removed from the court. We had pending that very day a motion to have the lien stripped. Of course, the judge denied that, but then when it came time to have the case seen for reinstatement, and even the clerk said, Your Honor, this is also being seen for reinstatement, it was not considered again, and I wasn't given that shot. I am so sad about that. I went home immediately and started bawling my eyes out, because this is my home and I take that so seriously. This is my castle of love. It's my happy healer organization of truth, love, and happiness, and I take that so seriously. And it's so sad that I have to actually consider that, well, the very nature of greed, that which I have a lifetime commitment of working through and against, is now working to destroy me, and it has been for a long time, and it has a name. Its name is Neil Paulson. He knows that he does not want me to get the lien removed, because that would end up allowing me to make this sell, and then I would just pay him off. He never wanted to just be paid off. He is now trying to take my home and steal my home, as he has always been trying to do, Your Honor. He actually hates me. I don't know why. I didn't do anything to him ever, and despite all of the problems that he's caused me, I've always been pretty mum about it, because I find it, quite frankly, really depressing, and I am conditioned to be frightened of this whole situation, frightened of the fact that it brings me down, that it's so sad, that it's just so depressing. I don't operate in greed, Your Honor. It's the very reason why I fail in greed. It's because I love, and I'm a lover, and I preach about that, and that when you're a lover, the first thing you end up doing, and mark my words, Your Honor, it is so true, that the lovers of this world, they're the ones out on the street dying. I have media to prove it. I live my life. I know it to be true. I have taken people in off the street so many times, and only to hear their stories, and I know who they are, Your Honor. I have a heart, and Neil seems to lack that same heart. He is out for death, and greed and destruction of the human spirit, all while he enriches himself even at the expense of our veterans and scams. Nothing is too low for this guy. And that's the true story of Neil Paulson. And it's a sad story, and it's not one that I'm making for him. Our truths, they're made by ourselves. It is no different just like when I had my drug addiction and I was popping 100 pain pills a day. I could wish that away, or I could make it work for me today in the knowledge and the person who I am and the good I can do. And I choose the latter. I choose the latter with courage, and I love, and I know that a life worth living is so much more important than the greed that people like Neil exercise. It's so sad, and I am conditioned. Think about it. This man shows up to my home. There is a reason why that stay is in order, so I don't have to have that in my life. It throws me off keel. It makes me not want to see this case through, Your Honor, because I get so scared, and so this greed is after me, and I've had to pay that price so many times. All I want to do is have a fair handshake, stand up for what is right, and know that what is right will ultimately work, and that if for nothing else, if it's a matter of that the lies are getting through, well then let's make sure the truth is documented. And that's what I'm doing here, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I just want to be clear again. I appreciate the way you have treated me in this case. I know that I am a different kind of person. I'm a weird quack of an eccentric, happy healer kind of a guy. And not too many people are walking around like that. I do get that. One of the things is people don't believe that other people go as far as I go in life. And I take pride in that if I were to take pride in anything, because pride is a fool's errand. It's just that in many ways, this has already happened to me many times. People mispeg me. They never get me right. It's completely reasonable why somebody would treat me in a way that is unfair. They always end up having to come back and say, wow, you're so different than I thought. And I think two things. One, wow, you shouldn't judge people so quickly before you really truly know them and know if they're being honest or not, or who they are. And that if they're trying to speak up, let them speak. You might learn something, or you might find out something you didn't know. Let's put it like that. And the other thing that I learned is not too many people are like me, and that's sad. I learned that not too many people are loving. That's okay. I love. I am a different kind of guy, and I'm humble, and people lie to save face in the most shameful ways. That's why I said, no, I choose humility. I will tell all of my truths. I am your honest broker of truth. I am your happy healer, love. And that's why in court, when I was told by the judge that she wouldn't believe that I was actually with a buyer for my home, unless the buyer was present, and that in some way hindered her decision to dismiss my case, it exasperates my happy healer heart, because I have been working for so long. So quite contrary to being disingenuous about the sale of my home, I am rather eager so I can move on with this dream, and that's the only reason I'm making this sacrifice, and that greed is getting in the way of it. And I am certain that if she had seen my website for president, she would know that truth. Well, she didn't. I can't blame her for that, and I don't. I do not. I understand. I love. And quite frankly, there's not many people out there like me. I will say, though, for people in powerful positions, just like as if I become president of the United States, the most redeemable quality in my view from the guy beneath you is humility of you. If I am fortunate enough to become your next president of this great country of ours, I will always be humble in the face of the power I have in order to express the love for which you elected me to that office. And I know I'm putting love on the ballot, and that is your choice in this election. Not to get too far off of focus here, but remember, love really works, folks. It gets the job done. It has the answers, whereas greed is always just worried out for its own greedy self. Love has an answer and affords a smile on all faces.
My experiences taught me that's the best way to be, and I'm really out for a life worth living after having lost my mother, my father, my brother last year to the drug epidemic, and my sister-in-law also to the same thing, and no health care. Just so sad. That's why I'm running for president. That's why I want to follow through with this dream for the people so that I could change the conditions. It's really sad that this is happening. And I'll work my happy healer heart out until I can get through this too. And why is my happy healer love heart exasperated? Because I know what the judge's intentions was. She's not a bad person. She really thinks that having my case in the jurisdiction of the other court will do me some good so I can get beyond this lien and sell my home and follow up with my dream.
She said to me, "Good luck with your dream, sir." And she even said she'll check my Happy Healers site. That's really exciting, actually, because every single person matters, has purpose and value. And thank you, and God bless you if you checked it. I hope you did, because we're doing something so special here. And we have the most amazing, special people who believe and dream. Your Honor, we dream. And let me tell you, it's sad for me to think that you thought, Your Honor, that by putting me into this other court, it was somehow going to benefit me, because at the same time I lose my stay protection. Neil will work feverishly. He will not provide to me the small time. You said 30 days. Wouldn't that be better than taking my home, having the money? And Neil categorically does not want that. The facts show that. Isn't that not concerning? I'm trying to save my home. And ma'am, I'll show you in the media that my buyer is so for real. And that even he's asking questions now, what's taking for so long? And that I'm worried I'm getting ready to lose my buyer because of how long this is taking. And I'm doing everything my little exasperated happy healer love heart can do, ma'am. I am trying. And now Neil will once again put bad omen over this case, bad omen over my home and over my life and over my dreams by pushing so fast he will make it impossible for me to get that lien removed before he has his case going in the court again, and I have to file back with the bankruptcy court. Mark my words, Your Honor, that is what's going to happen. I really fear it. I can't work quick enough. That greed works so fast in comparison to my happy healer love heart, and that I'm so focused on so many things. Just look at my site, look at the things I'm working on, and look at all the time I put and the effort that I put into what I feel matters, and that each person has value and purpose in my world, and so it makes sense. I only fear that your intention, ma'am, is not going to be able to happen for me, that I won't be able to get that lien removed like is the intention of the law. Because we know that Neil is ultimately going right to the courthouse at the circuit court, putting this case back on the docket, and that'll give me a very short period of time, likely not enough to do the lien, leaving me only one choice, to go back to the bankruptcy court. And instead, that time and greed is working against me, and it's going to make it so that we're forced back into the bankruptcy court. And then you'll know that my case is legitimate, but I never wanted to lose my last case. I was already almost done with it. You can see in this video alone, Neil knows that this case and that my sale was for real, and he never spoke up in court. And also, now you know, based even that Neil believes and knows that that sale was true. It's like this, Your Honor. I love my home, and I want my home, and I want to keep my home, except for that I'm doing this mission I am so dedicated to. I am sacrificing my home. But instead, greed is coming in and stopping me from the dream, and now seemingly also stopping me from continuing on with my bankruptcy. That's how greed is working in my life. That's perfectly to the extent how greed has always been working in my life. It's why I am petrified of that heartless greed. Although I stand with courage and I do what's right and I say my truth, but I do it with media and I record everything, ma'am, I have to for my happy healer heart. So exasperated and lost in the world of love that hate and greed is trying to kill my heart, and I can't die like that, ma'am. I just want to go on living, that I love life, that I love humanity.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little shocked to see you here.
No, well, the bankruptcy got
fine.
dismissed.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Wow.
Yeah,
I guess
so that's
when
how
was that? Today?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I guess I gotta refile that then.
Well, I mean,
The way that goes.
whatever.
I didn't even know that was happening. Jeez. I was asking them. I just asked him, what was it? The day before yesterday.
Yeah.
What's today? Wednesday?
Well, I just came from there.
No, Tuesday. So I must have done it on Friday or Monday. Yeah, you just came from.
I just came from the courthouse. That's why it was the judge was asking where you were.
Jeez.
I didn't know where you were.
Yeah, I didn't even
And then
know.
they checked the hall.
Are you kidding me?
There was nobody in the hall.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Are you kidding me? I
She
should have
told
been
us.
there.
You told
so
me
then,
last
what
month.
about the order that I had sitting there? That
She
was
said
just
that was
ignored?
denied because your attachments were not sufficient.
Yeah,
She
it
said the
wasn't
attachments you filed were not sufficient. I don't know what that was. What did you
Yeah.
file? A motion to strip the judgments?
even- Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she denied that.
I wasn't even there for any of that.
And the trustee filed a motion to dismiss because you hadn't made your payments.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to resolve that today.
Well-
Or whatever day this thing was there deciding on.
That's why I'm surprised
Because
to
I
see
had-
you here because
Yeah.
you should have been there.
I
at the
was
courthouse.
surprised that there's anything even happening today, Neil.
Well, she had notice. I got notice. Remember the last time we went to court? She said, I'm going to continue this until September. What is it now? The 11th? 10th?
See,
At 2:45.
Because
That's
I
why I
checked.
went
I
there.
talked to them. I was in there when I asked them. I said, "Do I have another court hearing?" They
Well, that
said,
was
"No,
on
so
the
long as
calendar.
you have it within 45
Yeah, and
days
she said,
to sell
where's
this."
Mr. Landy? So I don't know what you got.
I don't know.
But
Maybe
if
I
you can
should
get
go
it
up there
closed,
now.
I gave my payoff to the title company.
Yeah, no, I know that. They got that. Yeah,
So
I
if you
seen
can
that.
get it closed, more power to you.
Now I want you to ask yourself, as an honest broker of truth, does that sound like somebody who is interested in negotiating a settlement that works for Mr. Landy? Or does that sound like somebody who is interested in seeing it fall apart and rather gloating? And remind yourself, he said, if you can get it closed, more power to you. His words, not mine. He said, if you can get it closed, more power to you. Now remember what we're talking about. We're talking about getting my sale complete, which we're getting the lien done, and the only way to get this sale done is to get the lien removed. I put a motion into the court. I talked to Neil about that. He is aware of that when he said it, but he said it anyway. And he said it because he knew that I am in a race against time. He knows that. And he knows he doesn't want to provide time. He didn't even know that we would have another chance to get this case back opened up inside the bankruptcy court. He had already considered he was headed on over to the circuit court in order to reestablish the foreclosure and steal my home. He also made sure to say Yellow Book does not have a stake in this home because he intends to take it all. Those are his words, folks. That's what he said, and he says it. That's right, he said, I'm just going to get their lien stripped anyway. So if you can get it closed, more power to you. Never forget those words from Neil. His intention has been clear from the very beginning. He knows that greed has made him successful on so many occasions by rushing to take people that don't know otherwise to the court system and just hammer them and never give up. Just keep hammering them, and he's done so well doing that. I see his methods. He's been doing it to me for 10 years over a lousy $20,000. Talk about greed. They do say the devil comes for your soul and has to sell your soul. Well, I believe that's greed, folks, because here it is. It's an action. When you do this kind of stuff and you get rewarded for it and it's the most evil stuff you can imagine, you do that math. I've already done the math. That's why I don't get involved in it, because I don't like those kinds of ill feelings against me. Nobody has a reason to be upset at their happy healer. I just love. I am a child at heart. I am innocent in the sense that I love, and I love all, and I am unbiased in my love. Indeed, I'm even unbiased in my truth. So I am just their simple happy healer, loving with a big heart, knowing that one day my love will pay off, even if it takes for a while. I'll be happy in the meantime. It pays off every day in my own personal life and in the lives of those whom I touch, and I'm proud of that. I am so proud of that.
But I don't
Yeah.
know what your judgment amounts are.
Yeah.
And if they'll accept less, that's for you to try to negotiate.
I mean, this whole thing is a stupid headache. I gotta talk to
I
him.
can tell you what your strongest argument would be.
What's that?
Tell them that, hey, either you accept 25 cents on a dollar and you reduce it, or Paulson is going to go to foreclosure and eliminate your lien completely. Now, would you like 25 cents on the dollar, or would you like nothing? That's your strongest argument.
Yeah, but what about the argument that this is a homesteaded property and that technically with a homestead, he's not supposed to have that lien for Yellow Book, for my company, Crestline?
Well, if you hire a lawyer, they might be able to make it, but I don't.
That's what the argument is.
I don't know.
And I had no idea. This is just the way the devil likes to work. I mean, you know, I don't operate in
Well,
that
I was
world.
in court
You know,
2 months ago
I don't
because
operate
you
in that
filed
world.
that motion to sell.
Yeah.
And I was there, remember? And
Yeah.
you were there.
Yeah.
And the judge said, I'm going to continue this until September 10th.
Okay. Yeah.
You
so
must not have written it down.
Well, you know, I
And I
have this
emailed your
expectation that
title
some
company.
things will actually go the way they're supposed to. And in this situation, I was given 45 days, and that the
See,
cell is still working.
The time
through.
ran out.
Yeah,
The
I don't
time
know.
ran out.
I
So
checked.
here's
I
what
asked.
you're-
I asked
Okay.
a couple of days ago. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you what your strongest argument
Yeah.
is. You call those people from the yellow page and you say, hey, I can offer you 25 cents on a dollar. At least you'll get something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll
No.
close
make an
tomorrow.
offer. Yeah.
And you'll get a check.
Yeah.
Or the guy that's got me in foreclosure.
But I'm not in a rush either. I mean, if I have to, then we just file and I do a whole nother 5 years stupid rinky dink and the sale falls through.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can do that.
I can do that.
Because you're a serial filer.
I'm not
You
a
have to
serial
caught up.
filer. You know that.
3 times is a serial.
That's
You've done
no.
it.
That's within a certain number of
How
years.
many years?
Well, this is going on now. I'm without outside of it.
Yeah, well, and you did make payments for 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So you know,
I've got a
the
lawyer,
judges
Michelle
already
Beaker.
talked about that. Anyways, the judge did.
we brought it up
Yeah.
at the last hearing. Remember I
Yeah.
asked for
Yeah, she
I
said
asked
then.
for
She
a-
said that's not
Yeah,
how.
is your roof leaking bad or what's that? I thought you fixed that.
No, I have a couple of areas.
I
that
thought
I'm
you
concerned
had that
about,
fixed
so I
like
just put-
you had your brothers work.
Yeah, I did, but I just put the whole tarp up there so I
Okay.
don't have to worry about nothing. Plus, you know.
Well,
it's
that's
selling
my
it, so-
recommendation, that you call those companies and you say, hey, I'll pay you, but I can only pay you 25, because there has to be something in it for me. And then you say, hey, would you like 25% or do you
Yeah.
want to get eliminated from your lien? The homestead, all the homestead means is that if there's a surplus, you get it.
Right, right.
But I don't think it blocks the foreclosure sale.
No, I
So
don't
I'm-
think that. I don't think that it really
Yeah, that's your
matters
brother?
because
I'm sorry?
this
I'm
is
Jeff
Neil
Martin.
Paulson.
Oh, Jeff Martin, are you buying the house or what?
No, Jeff
Oh,
is just supporting me for president.
okay. So anyway, that's what I would do if I were you. I'm not giving you legal advice, I'm telling you what I would do, okay?
No, actually,
And then try to close it.
you're Neil. The everything that you do just seems to be towards the way that I don't do things, man.
Okay. Well, I was just knocking on the door to see if the house was secure, but as long
Yeah.
as you're here, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
up to
no,
you.
It's secure.
Okay.
It's secure, my friend.
Okay, well, have a good day.
All right. Try to take care of people, man. Don't be such a mean guy, huh?
Trying to help you with the recommendation. It's totally your decision.
Yeah, no, I got you. I missed my court hearing. More than 30 victims. Right now, apparently. In this online scheme. The most common story used is that they were. Hang on. Hey, what's going on? Holy shit.
Call me back, Keith.
Hey, Kyle, hang on a second. I'm just seeing a friend here. I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, you look.
What's up, you brother?
Call me back.
Yo, you look.
All right, Kyle. Yeah, bro, I'm still doing the thing, dude.
Yo, you look.
Was I running for president when you were here? I can't remember. It's been going on for so long.
Yo, you look like Reese, man, from Fantastic Four. Yo, you lost a lot.
I don't f around, dude.
Yo, you lost it all, man. You starting to sell the house?
Yeah, I'm actually,
So,
well, here's the problem. Greed is getting all up involved in that, brother. Greed is killing my fucking ass. And I'm trying to do a special thing here.
So-
I'm trying to run for president, put love on the ballot. I'm trying to, and I'm actually reaching out to important people and that they're responding. They want to see this work. But they also want to see, you know, it's a hard thing to believe. They want to see that, okay, the guy puts his house up, I'm selling that. They want to see me go to Iowa. Selling my house makes all that possible.
that's so.
And so I can go to Iowa and I
Talk
can
to me.
continue. This is a life worth living. Dude, the reason why I'm 150 pounds down is because I'm living a life worth living. This is what we all need to be doing, brother.
Yeah. What you trying to do?
No, this is trash. This was somebody who was trying to hurt me.
Oh, somebody put that out there?
Yeah, so this guy came to the house. It was more greed. I have the story on that
So
too.
you're not selling the house?
No, I am selling it if I am a lucky man. The problem is that the greed is. I have a whole story. It's a long thing. It's hard to explain in 2 seconds.
How much would you take as a down payment?
I'm not financing. I just need the cash so I can
Oh.
run for president.
So you need
Yeah.
105 cash?
Yeah, but the thing is well, no, I have it sold for 100,000. I've had it sold for months. The problem isn't the making the transaction. I have a buyer. I have it sold. The problem is that I have Yellow Book that's claiming I owe them money, but I don't, and that I have Homestead makes it even to the letter of the law that I should not have to pay a lien based on a yellow book ad from my company from 10 years ago during the financial crisis when they were trying to take advantage.
Yeah.
And then it didn't do me no good and my business failed anyway. Now they're coming 10 years later and they want to stake claim in my house.
So now you can't even do anything.
Now well, I could, but it's taking time. And that the law says I'm allowed to have that lien removed, but it takes time, it takes a lawyer, money I don't have. It's never fair for us. It's never fair. So I'm learning it, I'm doing it, but then the courts, they don't cooperate. I need a little bit more time because they take so long. I put it into one court, wants to take 2 months to do anything. The other court, like the bankruptcy court, gets it back and they say, well, why isn't anything getting done on this? And then they take 2 or 3 weeks or a month to respond. And they're the ones taking the time. My happy healer heart's ready to fucking go. They're the ones taking the time. So I'm stuck in a hard spot, man. I'm just trying to move and trying to make this progress, trying to make it real for what I'm trying to accomplish.
You trying to move to Iowa?
I don't want to move to Iowa. Orlando's my home. I love my home here, you know that.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But I'm giving it up so that I could do this dream. In fact, if it wasn't for running for president, my brother, you already know that I would still be just fine here. My bankruptcy would be going just fine because the only reason that it was put on hold that we got it pay off, and we got it pay off that my title company was getting ready. You know, they got all the math, and Neil's just not an honest guy, so that made me comfortable that they were involved and that we're just waiting for this lien to come off and then they pay it off through the sale. And none of that happened. Instead, they're looking at it saying, Mr. Landy, they don't believe I have a buyer first off. And then they say, Mr. Landy, you haven't been making your payments. You know what they went and did to me? Right. Your honest broker of truth, your happy healer, and you know the way I live.
Yeah, I know.
You know what they did to me?
What?
They canceled my bankruptcy case, bro.
Wow.
They dismissed it. So that greedy piece of POS, that greedy piece of work, Neil, that you've heard about, everybody in my life has heard about because of how he likes to work for the last 10 years. He has a stake on this house now. So he's trying to go to the courts and he wants in fast action is what he wants. He wants to take this home and it to be his in 2 weeks. That's the way he works. And so the bankruptcy court.
You don't get any money from it. He's just trying to take your house.
Yeah, that's what greed wants. You know that.
He's just trying to take your
Dude,
house.
what do you think lovers always end up on the street?
Wait, so he's trying to take your whole house?
Yes. Why do you think lovers always end up on the street, bro? Lovers end up on the street, and I'll tell you why. Because they're not good with the greed. They're not. You know, when everybody's getting so greedy, they're like, I'll just go over here and wait.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's never enough, man. It's never enough, man. It doesn't matter. You give and you give and you love and you give and you go and you love and you give and you just fucking give everything you got. These guys want to come for your soul.
Damn, Key, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad. It's the saddest thing and it's just more sad on top of sad. And I just have to say to myself, it's for a reason. Huh?
He's the one who put this?
Actually, no, I didn't put it there. Like I said, I had a realtor dude who everybody exercises in their greed. You know, they're not operating in love right now. That's how the world is. And so he came here wanting to sell the house. And I agreed with him, but then all he really wanted to do was get me to sign on a document so that he could force me to sell through him. He wasn't buying it himself like he had told me. And I have all that on record too, and I planned on, making a documentary out of all this because I have to show the greed, how it's killing us.
But no, if you don't want that guy to take your house for free.
No, but I've already got somebody that's willing to pay my price and willing to do it. There's no problem there.
Yeah.
The problem is that my mortgage guy wants his money, which he inflated. I borrowed $20,000 against this house 10 years ago, and I still somehow, after making all my payments, owe him $27,000. So whatever that means.
But I'm saying, but still, if you sell the house for $100, you could just pay him that money and then just keep it moving.
Yeah, but that's not the end of it. The yellow book, they're the ones. 40, they want $50,000. They told me today, just on the phone. So by the time they're all done raping me, I get to go run for president with $20,000.
Nah, that's no good.
Yeah, no, that's not right, man. And I don't have my home anymore. That's how people end up. Lovers end up on the street. They're willing to sacrifice everything, and indeed they do, and get nothing back, and greed takes it all. This Neil guy stole $21.4 million from veterans, people who put their life on the line for love of this country. And he stole from them, so he can steal from me easily. And that the system, it just supports that, man. It supports that. I was saying, Judge Jackson, please understand, you don't know my full story. She goes, I think I do, sir. And she said, I don't believe you have a buyer for your home. I wouldn't believe it unless that guy was on the stand right there saying it. And right now, we are dismissing your case. Done. Just like that. Despite the fact that I've had a buyer and we're all waiting just for this greed to finish doing its thing.
and for the court system to follow through. I'm so freaking exhausted in trying to work a happy healer heart, a loving mission, and dealing with people who are willing to kill. That's what they do, man. Greed is no different than a gun, bro.
No, it's not. It's peanuts.
Yeah,
That is peanuts.
when someone takes away your essence, your home, your life, the only option they leave is, if they don't have the kind of happy healer heart I do, I'll still go on living, loving, even on the streets I'll do it. Of course, at some point I'll probably expire, but that's how it works for lovers. Sometimes they do that to people who don't have all that skill I have, and then they lose everything and they go off and kill people, or they go off and just kill themselves. This is the kind of death I say they dole out. It's just as bad as guns.
Yeah.
It's just as bad, bro. People don't like that I record everything in my life. If I didn't record it, bro, I wouldn't have the proof.
You still do the drones?
Yeah.
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 I think I saw one the other day. I was at my house. I was like, wait, is that a fucking drone? Yeah.
No, a lot of my friends, they accept that I record. They
I was
see,
on John Young. Do you fight over there by John Young?
not that often. I go where I can, where I'm legal, and where I can get some really cool shots.
I thought I saw one in the
Maybe I was over there. I was on John. I mean, John Young's only right here.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, holy shit. That key. Yeah, man. Damn, bro.
Could have been, bro.
It's fucked up, bro.
Drones are so cool. I love drones. But yeah, man, I record because, and I think you should too. I think everybody should.
No, I did start. I've got pulled over a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. I got a.
See this right here? When I can't record and be in the car at the same, so I got that. You know, it's only a $30 camera, but it works.
Someone bought the house in there.
Yeah, they're good people,
I
man.
had I got a case.
Oh, really?
But yeah, one of my friends, his mom, the guy had the black Mercedes. His mom, she I didn't know his mom. She was a drug dealer, a big drug dealer, and I got a new house in Kirkman, over in the
Oh,
garden.
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, and
That's
I was
amazing.
in the house, and she dropped her kids off, and the next thing I know, the police. I'm leaving my house, and the police are stopping me. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nah, her kids." The lady just dropped her kids. Like, "Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh, she's a big heroin dealer." And I got her 2 kids are in the car. I don't know, put them off at their uncle's house. So
That's real life.
They want to search my car. So I mean,
Oh shit.
so I take the kids out the car, and she left 2 bags for the kids.
Yeah.
So they're looking through the bags, and they find drugs in the bag. And I'm
Oh
like,
man.
that's not mine. And
No.
but the cops are like, "Oh, these are kids' clothes and all this stuff."
Yeah.
The lady's ID was in there and everything.
Right.
I was like, those aren't my drugs.
Those aren't.
They
Yeah.
charged me with trafficking heroin. They're trying to give me 7 years.
When was this?
But I got arrested. This was March.
Oh my God.
I go to court, and I have my mom with me.
Are you still dealing with this?
No.
Oh my brother, good man. That shit'll destroy the fuck out of you,
I was
man.
in there going crazy, but nah, they just finished my case. And they was like, "Nah, there's no way you can say that these are his drugs." They were in the trunk.
That's right.
When they were in the trunk, and they had the lady's ID in the bag.
Good man.
The phone.
Because they're trying to destroy young
Yeah,
man's
bro.
lives like yours, man.
Yeah.
They don't want you to find love before you find greed,
Yeah,
first
that
off.
shit was crazy. I'm like, yo, I've been sitting in jail for the past 6 months because a lady put her kids' bags in the car, and she had drugs in her kid's bag. That's
Right.
That's that lady's fault. Why would she put drugs in her kid's bag? That's what
Yeah.
2 children.
Yeah.
Children. They had 2 double bags going to the uncle because they're staying at my house for 2 nights.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, bro. I'll just come over and check.
I'm proud of you, man.
Right. Yeah, but now I still got my house.
I'm proud of you that you worked through that hell, because you had hell doled upon you.
Yeah, they tried to get me a public defender. I hired a new lawyer. Once I hired my lawyer, he went to court. I was like, "Man, you guys know this is bullshit. Why you guys putting him in jail?"
Yeah.
And the judge was like, "Oh, we didn't know about," because all the cops, they showed up to the deposition. They said, "Well, there's no way." The cop said, "There's no way he could have known that there were drugs in that bag."
Right. That's what I need, is a good lawyer. Maybe if I had a good lawyer, because I hate fighting greed, man. Greed is such an ugly sucker. I'm a loving guy, you know? I don't like expending my time towards all that. I'm almost just as soon as one of those guys to say, "What do you want? You want everything? Take it and get the hell out of my life." Because that's all they wanted. They just wanted everything.
So yeah.
And so just give them everything, and then you get rid of them.
Nah, fuck that.
Just give them everything, and then you can move on.
People, they want $50,000 because you listed your house as your business address.
Yeah, that part. I mean, no. That had nothing to do with it. No, because that's what they do. If you own a business and you have a debt that it goes bad through the business, they have a right to take you to court and different
Yeah,
things.
but I'm saying,
but they don't have a right to take my home because it's homesteaded.
Yeah, but not even that. Your business has it's an LLC.
It's a
right?
different thing. Yeah,
Business is LLC.
it's got the
Limited-
corporate veil of
LLC,
protection.
limited
Yeah,
liability.
but you know why they got it through, my brother? It's because just like Neil got the foreclosure through because I was going through my drug addiction, and you know how that hell is. I was going through my drug addiction.
Yeah.
I was taking 100 oxys a day, and these are the 30s, the blue ones.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a habit.
Yeah.
And that's the time when I was dealing with Neil initially. And then in 2014, was on the tail end of that. I went to Germany. I spent 6 months there. I didn't do any drugs, didn't touch anything. But during my time in Germany, Neil took it upon himself to put me through foreclosure. And because I couldn't show up to the court hearing, the very day before, he didn't know I was in Germany. He was talking to me, and I have the emails to prove it, that everything's fine, it'll be great.
The next day, he learns that I'm in Germany, that it's impossible for me to physically make it to this court hearing. He turned, and he said lies, and he did whatever he had to do. Ultimately, the court rewarded that hell and greed and lies and gave him my home while I was in Germany trying to get over my drug addiction and learn about humanity so I could do what I'm doing now. Then the Yellow Book. They were actually right in the very beginning part of that. That's when I was actually taking those 100 pills a day. They were actually going to court, so I didn't go and fight that either. It was more to me to try and stay alive.
Bro, that's they trying to make it complicated, but it's simple. That's your company.
Yeah.
Limited liability, LLC, that falls under your company. They
Yeah.
can't touch you because it's a limited liability
Yeah.
company.
So now I never lost my home in my drug addiction. I never gave up all this because I knew, like, my mom died here. I can hang on to it through my own hell and greed. I can work through it, and that life's right there. But then I can get through and onto the other side of life, on the other side of all that weight, living a life worth living, trying to help others. And this greed will come back like time travel from the past, and will say, I'm here. Yeah. And the thing about it is, it never belonged there. In the letter of the law, it has no right to be there. I am homesteaded. 3-4 years ago, somebody got into my homestead paperwork. That's what they told me over at the, they fixed it down there at the tax collector's office. They said, someone changed your address. That was not you, sir. I said, that was not me. And it was somebody who had to gain, I believe. Then must have been Neil, because he's the only one who had anything to gain, and he's capable of this kind of stuff. That's why I want to get him out of my life. I don't trust him after seeing what he did, and he hates gays. He told me that. I mean, I have all this stuff on record. So yes, he hates me. He steals from veterans. He says he loves veterans, and he hates me, so he's going to steal from me. And that's where I'm at with this thing. This greed is killing me. It doesn't care. And let's face it, it's people, but it's the people that let that force in them work. And Neil, he stole so much from so many and got away with it. He'll do it for me. And so you have the Yellow Book. They don't have any real claim on my home, and they're here. I talked to the guy today. I have it on recording. I'm going to put it on the show. And the Yellow Book said to me that they don't care about my story of love, none of that. I'm trying to tell them what I'm trying to do. I said, the reason why I'm making a $10,000 offer is so that I can go on with my life and deliver this gift to the people. Yeah. That's what I said. They said they don't care about that. They want $40,000 to $50,000, and they're not even sure they could do the 40, but 50 they can. That's the payoff. And that, despite that, they don't care about nothing that I'm talking about. They don't care. What is this? What is this to them? They said, that's got nothing to do with me. I said, no, it does, because you're getting in the way of it, and that your greed don't belong here in the first place. You have no rightful, you're not some rightful heir of my home. You don't have a rightful claim on my home, right? So you're stopping me from doing something for the people. If it wasn't for this dream, I wouldn't be in this predicament, because I'd just be in my bankruptcy with my payments. But the thing is they gave me the payoff, and they were waiting for the payment, and that I have a buyer, and that I have a title agency. Why am I still making payments when I'm selling the home? It's all in like a hold status. They based it on that and took my home. The judge did. I was shocked. I didn't even get a chance to speak. This all happened yesterday. I tried to speak. I said, Your Honor, because I knew that I had a lot to say. And I knew that if I didn't get it all out, then I'm falling short. And that she needs to hear this, because for months I've been trying to say this kind of stuff, but it's just so hard. Greed always gets it out over time, because it's snickering and it's lying. It's all it ever thinks about. But, for me, I'm thinking about other things, and this is a nuisance to me. This is more of a nuisance than anything. So I'm just going to hang in there, brother. You caught me on a good day for sure.
Yeah, well, I got to get out of here. I got my
All right, bro. God bless you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Come around again and check up on me.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
I'm glad to hear you're doing well.
You lost a lot of weight.
Thank you. He's a good guy.